Flyer travelers, brace yourselves. Soon the skies may not be that friendly anymore when you take to them in your travels into and out of the country soon. A high-ranking Civil Aeronautics Board officer earlier today said at least 3 airline companies formally filed a petition seeking to charge their customers a terminal enhancement fee in the wake of an array of increased fees at the airport when privatization and improvement of services began on September 14. In a radio Q&A, CAB Deputy Executive Director Maria El Benmoro said her office once again began receiving requests since August in anticipation of a surge in aeronautical charges the next month when privatization officially kicked in. The price for the new terminal enhancement fee depends on flight distance, but under 1,000 pesos. Meanwhile, besides the terminal enhancement fee, what has also gone up are the costs of landing and takeoffs that surged 200 to 220% since the 1st of October and are not in budget of airlines for the year 2024. Sadly, as airport visitors bemoan the latest parking rate charges, these upgrade and takeoff and landing fees will have to be passed on to passengers. In other news, the U.S. elections on November 5th, for all intents and purposes, will boil down to 7 battleground or swing states, meaning they could go either Republican or Democrats, unlike the pretty much decided red or Republican and blue or Democratic states that lean and consistently vote either conservative or liberal ideologically or politically. Arizona, a traditional red or Republican state, has turned purple or swing after Joe Biden's razor-thin win in 2020. This year, former President Donald Trump and the Republicans have a slight edge, but well within the margin of error statistically, as per this VOA report.
Arizona, home to more than 7.4 million people, historically leans towards Republicans. Over the past 76 years, only 3 Democratic presidential candidates have won the general election in the southwestern state. Harry Truman in 1948, Bill Clinton in 1996, and Joe Biden, who pulled off a narrow victory in 2020. This election year, the race is tight again. Former President Donald Trump, the Republican, and Vice President Kamala Harris, a Democrat, are battling it out for Arizona's 11 electoral votes.
I think it kind of underscores kind of this independent nature of Arizona. You know, we've kind of, it's a strongly unaffiliated, but also kind of libertarian.
Libertarians believe liberty is the most important political value, which can be achieved by limiting government power.
Predicting their vote becomes very challenging because how they vote in one election doesn't necessarily mean they're going to vote in the next election. And they're notoriously ticket splitters, right? So they vote differently.
The electorate in Arizona is changing, and that's making it more of a battleground state. Those changes include a growing Hispanic population, about 1/3 of the electorate, that is finally old enough to vote.
For this election, those Gen Z voters, those under the age of 30, are now mirroring the population in general of Arizona, and that's occurring for the first time. There is definitely a trend among older Latino voters, perhaps, of not being distinctly or primarily Democrat. Younger voters tend to be.
The other major change impacting voting patterns is the large number of people, particularly from California, moving to the state. According to U.S. Census figures, more than 74,000 people moved from California to Arizona between 2021 and 2022.
They tend to be a more democratic or liberal vote that has kind of come in and permeate some of our, particularly our larger metropolitan areas.
Larger metro areas like Maricopa County, home to the state capital of Phoenix and more than half of Arizona's population. Whoever wins Maricopa usually wins the state.
It's that process where we have these big cities that are now coming to dominate state-level politics. In the case of Arizona, Maricopa County is now about 60% of the total state. And then you have Pima County, which is another about 12% or so. So you have 2 counties that really dominate most of Arizona politics.
According to Riley, the three issues that Arizonans care most about are the economy, reproductive rights, and immigration. Two of those issues are on the November ballot. Proposition 139 would codify a woman's right to an abortion in Arizona. Proposition 314 would make illegally crossing the Arizona-Mexico border a state crime, in addition to a federal crime. One issue could drive more liberal voters to the polls, while the other could energize conservative voters.
We might see some split ticking there, right? That they maybe feel strongly on immigration, the border issue, and would vote for one candidate there, but also feel strongly about reproductive rights and vote differently there.
At this moment, let's turn to my colleague in PTV's Baguio City studios for what's hot and happening in the Cordilleras. Ala?
Ngayon Pilipinas, Pilipinas, iti agtultuloy ang kampanya ti Police Regional Office Cordillera kontra iti illegal a droga. Na-discovery pa dagiti plantation sites ti marijuana ijay Kalinga kan iti Benguet. Iti Benguet na-discovery babang ti marijuana eradication ti 5,040 a pedaso ti fully grown marijuana plants nga gatat iti nasaruk 1 million pesos. Iti Kalinga iti agpada nga operasyon na-discovery matlang ti 3,000 a pedaso ti fully grown marijuana plants nga gatat iti 600,000 pesos. Nauram ken nadadal dagitoy iti mismo a site. Kabiyatan na iti Mountain Province na kumagbaon iti search warrant ti may sa high value individual ngagtawon iti 54. Naala iti ikot ti suspect ti maatap a shabu ngagdagsen iti 3 grams ngagatat iti nasok 20,000 pesos. 5 grams ti marijuana seeds ngagatat iti 125 ken dumapay. Ijay met ifugaw na kamag ti 22 years old nga adan ikot iti maatap a shabu. Iti Baguio City nakamag ti may sa 35 years old a babae ang nakaimot iti maatap a shabu ngagatat iti nasok 92,000 pesos. Iti sabali pa'y adamag awan ti makikita ti Department of Education Cordillera aparikot iti panakisubli ti sigod nga English and Filipino kas medium of instruction iti grade 1 aging grade 3. Sigon iti DepEd Cordillera awan pa'y tinaw-awat da apambilin siknan iti nasao nga issue. Imbinglay ni DepEd CAR Regional Director Stella Carino at tinalandandan ti issue iti kaudyan a Management Committee meeting da. Kinuna nga awan ti makikita da aparikot ken negatibo nga epekto daytoy iti panagadal dagiti estudyante. Gaputa saan nga aming nga estudyante ket nakaawat iti panarita nga Iloko nga isu ti mother tongue para iti Cordillera. Rason anang i-issue da iti memo para iti panakarama ti Filipino kas medium of instruction kadagiti pagadalan.
Wala namang masyadong effect because nag-umpisa na tayo years ago ng paggamit na ng Filipino or English as medium of instruction. Nagbigay na tayo ng memo, that was I think 2021 or 2022, that in case it is a monoclass, they can use the real mother tongue if the teacher knows it. If not, then we use the Filipino, which is understood by everyone.
Dagiti damdamag, manipod dito'y PTV Cordillera. Siya ni Ala Sunduan. Naimbag, Arabii.
Thank you, Ala, and that's all she wrote for tonight. Join us again tomorrow night for yet another set of late-breaking stories. Always stay connected by catching the news right here. William Theo wishing all of you a restful night ahead, and thank you for watching PTV News Now.